Good morning, and here we are now on to Thursday the 14th of January. It's an absolute pleasure to have your company. I am Craig Laird, so maybe you're just tuning in for the first time this week. We just started this week with a new schedule. This is Wake Up Call with Craig. It's 1 hour, it's Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. here in the UK. However, if you are in the States, I know many of you are actually watching live, and you have been, but you can watch back when you wake up. You are able to watch us live 4 a.m. in Eastern Time or 1 a.m. Pacific Time. But as I say, you can absolutely catch back when you wake up. Hence the name, Wake Up with Craig. Now, coming up later on, we have got a very, very special guest. Now, if you managed to see myself and Ben last night, we gave you a little tease as to who was coming on today. This might give you a little bit of a clue as well, this stag, this unbelievably gorgeous stag. Now, this is something that we'll show you just very, very shortly, and we're also going to be chatting to Charlotte, who is an absolute incredible designer, but an artist, but is working here as well. Now, we have got today on Craftful, we have got Nature's Garden, beautiful butterflies cartload collection. You'll be able to see there, you've got your selection of your dies, you've got your stamps as well, you've got your stamp and your dies as well. You've got a nice selection is in that bundle. Everything within cartload, everything that's in Craftful is up to 70% off when it comes to Craftful. That's incredible. And then what we've got is launch day. So that's coming up at 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern Time or 5 a.m. Pacific Time. And within that one there, we have got our pop-up shape die. So these are our numbers. You're getting these paper pads as well. So we're getting our brights as well as our pastels. These enable you to do your pop-outs when it comes to your numbers. That's going to be Ben and Sarah on launch day doing that one. And then following on after that, you've got myself. Are you ready for this? You've got myself and Leanne. Leanne's coming in. She's going to be presenting the show of Cartload. She's going to be up with myself at 4 p.m. here in the UK. Or, of course, if you are going to be tuning in, it's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern Time or at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. And we have got a back in stock, and it's something that is so much fun. However, what you're able to do is make very, very quick cards using your small dies. It is, of course, our Gemini Mini, but because it's my show, these are kind of like my 3 picks. So throughout this hour, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of showcasing what you can be doing with these sets. So it's certainly a jam-packed hour coming up, that is for sure. And what's it as well is Nikki D had messaged in on social media saying she was unsure how to actually construct an easel card. So that's what we were going to do. We're going to take a couple of minutes just shortly, and we'll show you how you can actually create an easel card very, very quickly. So what we can then do is, once we start that one, we're going to then move on into our other demonstrations. So when it comes to our other ones, we can then start to incorporate maybe our butterfly collections. We can then even bring in maybe the pop-out numbers that you're going to be seeing later on with Sarah. But then we've got some pictures as well. We'll get there. There we go. We got there. We just about got there. Thank you, Liam. So yeah, so we've got a nice selection, and also some viewers' images that we didn't get a chance to show yesterday. So we're going to be popping them on the screen as well for you to see. So this one here, let's kickstart it. This one is from Sandra. Now look at that one. That is from our foil press, and that's one of our normal dies. Thank you so much, Sandra, for sending that in. It goes to show that you can absolutely use your normal dies when it comes to foiling. And then we've got, oh, look at this, Jose and Teddy. Oh, how cute. They were hanging out, they were watching yesterday. See, we've got everyone, whether it is humans or animals, are watching. And then, I know Sarah by her name. We've got Sarah here. Look at that. I believe that is called a telfie, where she is taking a selfie in front of the telly. So thank you so much, Sarah, for sending that one in. So good to actually be seeing all of your photos popping up onto the screen as well. So do absolutely send your pictures in studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. And then if we don't get them in, obviously, on this show, because it was only an hour, we will pop them up on the screen tomorrow. So let's say hello to, we've got Connie Batista on YouTube saying, good morning, this is your wake-up call. Absolutely it is. Jill on Facebook saying hi from a snowy North Yorkshire. Absolutely. Have you seen the snow? Certainly in our area anyway, where we've got an absolute downfall of snow. just disappeared as quick as it came the other day, and now it's back again. Thankfully, it didn't take me an hour and a half to get into work, when it only takes 20 minutes, although I did leave early. We've got Christine Miller on Facebook saying good morning to everyone from Pennsylvania. Good morning to you. Panda Crafts on YouTube saying good morning to all our lovely crafting friends from around the world. Love from Doncaster. We've got Fran from Maryland watching from watching at 4 a.m. And the reason I was starting in there, because even my mum has commented as well. Denise Laird on Facebook saying, good morning, Craig, from a rainy Carnoustie. Oh, well, you've got the rain and we've got the snow, so sorry about that. And that just goes to show, many people think that you actually get lots of snow in Scotland. We do, not always right in Carnoustie, because we've got the River Tay, so we have the salty air, so it doesn't always last. So actually, I'm getting more snow here than when I was back home. But let's go on to our first one, which is coming up in Crathall, 11 a.m. here in the UK, or of course it is 6 a.m. Eastern Time, stateside. This is our Nature Garden collection. So within our Nature Garden collection, we are getting that selection of dies and stamps is coming up. These are going to be in the full collection here, so you can see it on your screen at the moment. So this one is coming up. What one's this coming up on? Crathall at 11 a.m. Now, just to say as well, just to say, good point to start that as well. Usually with Crathall, we have two shows, one at 7 p.m. as well, obviously UK time, but because we have an HSN preview, then that is kind of taken over that time slot and beyond. So I'll tell you a wee bit more about that later on in the show, but that is our HSN preview. So when there's an HSN preview, there's not going to be a second Crathall. So just in case you want to know, this is the time to actually either get the goodies now or tune in to myself and Ben very shortly. Now, on Crathall, it is up to 70% off. Everything. That's everything that's in Crathall is 70% off. We're obviously just going to showcase the beautiful butterflies in this show. However, what you're able to do is go into the website and have a look at everything. And then when it comes to these beautiful butterflies, it's up to 50%, 56% on that one there. So that is a really good deal for that one. So we are going to do a bit of a demo. We're going to show you how these actually work. What I'm going to do is do a little bit of mixing and matching. Because you get the background die as well, you get a nice selection of stamps that are layering stamps. So I thought what we can do is let's put a little quick card together. And I'm also even going to incorporate my actual Gemini Mini as well. So while I get this one out, just taking a quick drink. In case you thought he's gone silent, he's disappeared. I've not, I'm still here. We're then going to bring in our ink pads as well. So we're going to do a little bit of cutting in a minute as well. But what I'm going to do is, if I bring in, now where's my scoreboard? Here it is. If you manage to get your hands on that deal we had yesterday with the Score Master, with the envelope box and the paper pad, you can of course do what I'm away to do. However, you're able to even do this with your guillotine because you've got the grids. But what I'm doing is I've just taken some of our cardstock. In case you're wanting to know, it is 4 3/4 by 7 inches, and I've got 2 of them here. What I can then do, I'm always on the inch. Actually, let me know as well, when it comes to crafting and you're measuring, are you into inches or are you into centimetres? I think you guys is into inches when it comes to you guys stateside. Many here in the UK do inches, centimetres, but I actually do inches as well. So what I've done is I've just scored a line at the top here, so that is at 1 inch down. Doesn't need to be precisely at 1 inch, it could be whatever you want, but it's there as a guide. And then what I'm doing, if I bring in my tape runner, bring in my tape, add in the adhesive along the top, I'm going to bring this one in here. Now this is going to show you how you can create a card blank if you don't actually have any card blanks at home. So very, very simply, there's our card blank you can see here. So if you don't have any at home, then this is how you're able to create your own one at home. But then later on, what we will do as well, show you how to do that easel card that Nikki was asking for. Bringing in a couple of other layers here, so another bit of cardstock. So these ones here is our Centura Pearl. So we can bring these layers up. Little bit of matte and layers. So we're popping this one on. I've taken a piece of pattern paper from Vintage Lace Collection. However, if you have already got your hands on some of the beautiful butterflies, you've maybe got that paper pad, which you can include, but you can of course use any that you so wish. Let's bring in this intricate lace frame. This is an absolutely gorgeous, elegant frame within this one here. So if I take this one off, and for this one, I'm going to use my Gemini Junior. This will go through your Gemini Junior as well as your large Gemini, of course, but what I'll even do is go through the Gemini Midi if you have that one. And what I'm going to do with this one is going to pop my metal shim in, only because we've got lots and lots of fine detail within here. So I just want to ensure that I get that all nicely cut. Plastic, magnetic, top plate. And we can run this one through. And this is going to show you how minute and diddy these tiny pieces are. This is the perfect die if you like to do your shaker cards. Keep all these bits. Don't bin them. Absolutely, you sing away, Erin, you go for it. I think you all know at home maybe what song she's singing. But with these ones here, you don't have to bin all the bits. Keep a hold of them, and these could be your shaker elements. You've got a nice little insert bit that you could use elsewhere. Bringing in my tool. As always, anything you see me using that we're not showcasing on the show, you can always find on the website crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. So what we can do is we can bring all of these in, and I'm going to peel this one out. Now let me know if you are excited about Craft Vault. Is there anything that I've just showed you in the preview that you're looking forward to? Is there anything that you've already, now yes, you can go onto the website and already have a sneak peek as to what's already there for Craft Vault. You don't have to wait till the show. You can go on and you can buy now. And then when it comes to Craft Vault, we always have, maybe some of you don't know about this, but we always have a special of the day. So it's always worthwhile going on and having a look. So this is where today is up to 70% off everything. So that's today's special when it comes to Craft Vault. But what we can do now, finishing off, I'm not going to pop all these little bits out. You can come along again with your tool. Actually, I think there we are, we're just about there anyway. And what we can do, I'm going to bring in, actually, do you know what? Let's just leave it on my glass sponge mat here. Can you even from that distance look at all of that detail all the way around, how elegant it is, how stylish it is. You could pop a sentiment in the middle, a photo into the middle. There's many different ways that you can use this one. But what I'm going to do is using my dotty tape runner for this one, and we're going to go all the way around. And this is the type of die where your dotty tape runner is perfect for, because the dots only go where you need it to go onto your cardstock. You're not going to get any bits of adhesive that are kind of stuck into places where you don't need it. But what we can do is we're going to go over the top. And although this is kind of like an ivory on ivory, it works really, really well. And then what we can do is I'm moving this one out the way just for the time being. And there's a reason being as well, because we've got little bits. I'm going to show you one last bit. But what I want to do and make sure is, if you've seen the last couple of days, you can see I get in a bit of a state before I get to my next demo. So while we have a very quick chat, you and me, I'm moving these out to the side. So I'm actually kind of getting myself geared up for the next one too. There we go, good to go now. And then within these stamps here, these are our rose bloom stamps. So these are actually layering stamps that you can be using. So I'm going to bring in a piece of our white smooth stamping card. And I'm even going to bring in, you'll probably, actually, I was about to say you'll probably have a nice clean stamping platform at home. I bet you don't. I bet you're like us and yours are all inky, because we don't tend to clean them, do we? I'm just as bad at that one. There's something else you can tell me as well. Do you clean your stamping pads and your stamping platforms, or do you just let them go the way that they are? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my stamping platform in, and I'm going to take these little bits of cardstock in. These are top quality photopolymer. And then I'm going to use quick dry for these ones. I'm going to use pink tulip and damson wine, and we can pop this back layer of the rose with the pink tulip. If you've got our large stamping platform and stamping press, any other branded stamping platform at home you can absolutely be using. What I can then do is just press this one in. Now, if you are familiar with our layering stamps, you will know what I am just about to say. If you are not new to them, then what these do is these layer upon layer. So this one has got more of a backdrop elegant detail of the rose that we can see here. Now what I can do is bring in this next rose. I'm going to just sit that over the top. This is where if you've got a stamping platform, like a magnetic stamping platform, that's also easier as well. But what we can do, I'm layering that over the top. I'm going to pop that one over into my stamping platform. This time I'm going to go in with a darker colour. So the one with all the detail is going to be the lightest colour, and then the next layer with a bit less detail, this is going to highlight the rose for this one. And as you'll see, I'm going for a pinky lilac rose. And then all that I'm going to do, and I'm just going to say, Liam, I'm going to stick my head in the way here because I need to line this one up, and that's something. Oh, there's a sneak peek. Charlotte coming up very, very soon. And then what we can do is once I'm happy with where that's lined up, then what I can just do is just press that over the top, pressing that one in. And the good thing is as well, you can use whatever colours you want. Now, can you see how that comes to life on this one here? This is where you can mix and match any colours you want. We've got the lightest, we've got the dark over the top. But then what you can do, you've even got the leaves as well. You do it exactly the same way. And for these ones, I used our grasshopper, and I also used our spring meadow. You can see here and done the same. You even get the dies to die cut them out. So just wanted to show you, this is where I've already die cut this one out just by popping the die all the way round. I'm not going to pop this one through, but I want to show you how it sits nicely over the top and run it through your die cutting machine. Bringing this one back into place, and then what I'm going to do is if I bring in a foam pad, I'm going to just pop a couple on for time and speed. So we'll take the backing off. If you want to use your glue gel, you can do, but we can set that one into the middle. And I'm using these two sets here. However, you can, of course, be using all of the additional dies and stamps that you're getting within the set too. So you don't just have to use what I'm using. You've got the sentiments, or you can even use some of the borders if you want to do an extra bit at the side. But that's all that I'm doing with there. I would then come along and maybe add another bit just to the side here, but something very, very simple onto your card, little sentiment to finish, and that's incorporating the die as well as that stamp and die set as well. So you can see, although you've got that nice selection of products, what you can do is use as little or as much as you want. So let's have a look, see what everyone is saying. Also gives me a very, very quick chance to get this stuff sorted and move to the side. So we have then got Betty on YouTube is saying, good morning, Craig. Betty's from Wisconsin. She's there, and she can't believe she's up and watching this show. Can't believe you're up watching this show either. So many of you actually are coming up throughout the morning. Then we've got Nancy is saying straight away what she does is she colours, or she actually cleans her stamps and platforms straight away. So she uses our alcohol proof. She finds that alcohol proof is harder to remove, which absolutely it will be. Same with the quick dry. Some of them actually stain your stamps. Don't worry, that doesn't affect any future stamping. It just does stain them slightly. And then we've also got, who else have we got? We've got Mary saying that she cleans hers, but they still look inky. Oops, that will happen sometimes. And then Sandra saying, when using the dotty tape runner, I use the back of the mat and layers not to waste. Perfect, what a great idea. And Vicky is saying she always washes my stamps after use before she puts them away. Good, good. Many of you are actually do what I don't do, which is actually probably a good thing. And Sarah saying, beautiful colours in the Rose Craig gorgeous card. Thank you very much, Sarah. It's lovely to read all of your comments. Do remember that you can pop your comments across onto our social just by watching, obviously, either on our YouTube feed or, of course, onto our Facebook feed. Entirely up to yourself in which way that you watch. Now, are you ready? I am. Just before I go, Liam, drop my card. Need to make sure I've got my card, you know, so it keeps me right, keeps me right. Right, we have now got my first guest, actually my first and only guest for today, and it is Charlotte. Now, you've heard us talk about her every now and again. She works backstage, kind of works as a vision mixer, which in the US is a director. To be honest with you, actually, I know it as a director, you know, not necessarily as a vision mixer as well. Unbelievably talented artist. You'll have seen the actual stag a moment ago, and we're going to have a wee chat to say hi, Charlotte. How you doing? You're a wee bit nervous, but don't worry, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Beating through my mind.
Honestly, you're fine, no problem. Now, obviously, we've seen your work here, and we've seen your work on social media. What is your medium of choice, you know, when it comes to?
So I like coloured pencils. This is a coloured pencil drawing. I've recently been trying out acrylics and oils, but mostly I do coloured pencils.
Yeah, absolutely stunning from what you've done. When it comes to, you know, your drawing, you know, doing the work that you do, what is it that you prefer to draw?
Mostly animals. So yeah, this was probably one of my first ones that I did. And dogs is another one that I like to do, or cats.
Yeah.
Sorts of animals.
I can imagine, you know, certainly here, you know, a nation of animal lovers, but we've got a few pictures here for you to see. This is some of the, oh wow, look at that little cute pussy cat. So that, obviously the drawings are the ones that you've done, Charlotte, yeah. Look at that, amazing. Look at that fox, oh my gosh. It's so like 3D in real life. And then there's a stag again. Wow, absolutely, certainly blown away with that stag anyway. You know, I do love a stag, but obviously being in Scotland. When it comes to obviously the arts that you do and that, how did you get into it?
So my uncle is a retired police dog handler, and a couple of years ago his dog sadly died, and I wanted to make something for him so like he has something to remember it by. And I drew coloured pencil drawing, a drawing of Alfie.
Right.
I think we've got a picture of him. Yeah. So I sent that through to him in the post, and he didn't even know. Well, to be honest, I didn't really know at the time that I could draw.
Right. Okay.
So I just drew that and sent it through to him, and he loves it. It's up on his wall. So.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Well, there's bound to be something you get the most requests for. Is there maybe a specific animal or?
Mostly people like pictures of their dogs.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I can absolutely see that. You know, I would be exactly the same. Now, some of you actually might recognise this one here, because this is one you done for Ben, didn't you?
Yeah, that's Mac.
Look at that one. And because I know that he showed it on social media as well.
That's Maisie, my friend's dog.
Oh, look. It's just that, oh wow.
That's a German short-haired pointer called Hunter. And yeah, that's my little puppy. She's called Tyne.
Look at that. How old is she?
She was just little there. That was at the beginning of lockdown. When I first got her, I spent a lot of time drawing, so I had a little puppy run around on the floor at the time. Right. Yeah, she's 1 now.
Oh, so cute. What I do just want to say as well, if my mum is watching, don't worry mum, I've already spoken to Charlotte about something for DJ, so don't worry, I'm already there, I'm already one step ahead of you. Charlotte, thank you so much. It's so good to actually have a chat with you. And then, well, I'm going to hear you in my ear again later on.
Yes,
you're going to be vision mixing throughout the rest of the day, so thank you so much. Absolutely love what you're doing. Thank you again. Rightio. We're then going to go back, we're going to do a little bit more demoing where we're going to show you something else that's coming up very shortly throughout the day as well. So what we can then do is let's have a look again now and see what everyone is saying now. We've got Betty saying, you know, how beautiful these really are, such lovely, lovely gifts. Connie is saying, Charlotte, you are gifted. Absolutely you are. Linda saying good morning to Charlotte as well. And then we've also got Linda's popping up just saying absolutely stunning artwork. So yeah, you're absolutely loving these ones here. So here we go. Let's go on to the next one. I'm actually kind of glad. Look, got myself tidied for a start. Good. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on something that's coming up on launch day. This is coming up at 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern time or 5 a.m. Pacific time for you guys. And that's going to be with Ben and Sarah. And this is a pop-up shaped number dies. So within these ones here, now we are also getting the paper pad. Now what I'm going to do is you're going to see the paper pads in a moment on the screen, but I'm also going to show you something in a moment as well that comes within that full bundle where you get the dies. You also get the dies, you get the stamps, as well as the paper pad. Getting a nice little shot of the stag again. But within that set here, what you're getting is you're getting numbers. So these numbers enable you to actually pop out. So when it comes to the card, it pops out, and then it gives you that little bit of a concept, that little bit of fun when it comes to the card. One of these things, it doesn't matter whether it's a little child or whether it's an older generation, they're going to have that fun. By opening the card, the numbers are then going to pop out. But what we can do is, let's just show you these ones here. So this is how they're going to come packed up, and you might be familiar with our pop-up sentiment dies that have come out in the past. So it's kind of along the same lines, but you've got the numbers here. Then what you've also got is you've got the stamps and dies to decorate your cards as well. So these come combined. These ones will go through your Gemini Mini, Gemini Mini, and then you've got the stamps as well. So this is where you've got your sentiments here, so you can have, you know, your happy, your party, your birthday. You can make your longer sets as well. And then what you also get now, you also get two 12 by 12. I only have the 8 by 8 version, but you get the exact same colors, but in the 12 by 12 form. So you get the brights and you also get the pastels within these ones here. So you've got that full collection of colors all the way through. So certainly for all year round, whether it's your yellows, your reds, you've got some of your deep pinks, purples, look at these deep blues too. We've got sky blues as well as, you know, kind of like your aquas. Look at that one as well. Love that very, very rich deep teal on that one. Bright greens, and then even like your floral greens there. So that's ones with your brights. And then you've got along the same color lines, but in the pastel tone, or I love the way you guys in America say it, pastel colors. We've got the pastel colors here. So same color families, but on that pastel tone of the yellows, the baby pinks, we've got bright pinks. We've got all of these ones here. We can then take all of these paper pads. Again, this one is 8 by 8. You're getting the 12 by 12 when it comes to the paper pads. And within these ones here, what you're able to do is use the paper pads in conjunction with the cards, or of course you can use them on their own. What I want to do is I've thought if I just open up the pack and let you see how these actually look. Sarah will be demoing them with Ben on launch party, 1 p.m. here in the UK. So it's 1 p.m. or it's 8 a.m. or 5 a.m. for you guys stateside. And what we're going to do is if we go in here, nicely fresh unopened pack, I'm getting to open them, and these ones, you're actually new, but they're even 20% off. So there we go. That's an incredible start to the dough. Now look at the size of these ones here. So within these ones here, what you can absolutely do is use them as the pop-up concept, but you could, even if you wanted to, tell you what, let's actually just run one of them through. Now I'm not going to do it in the pop-up form because I'm going to leave that for Sarah and Ben to do the reveal when it comes to that. But what I want to do is I want to show you as well, keeping in mind what you could do if you wanted to. If you want to use them as separate numbers, you can do. So I've taken the 6 for this one. If you want to use them separately, they're going to go through your mini. So let me find my little folder. We had it, here we go, you know something, here we go. Like this, see, before we come in, or before we start, I get everything sorted, I get everything organised, right, I need that, and I need that, and I need that. Bet your bottom dollar, like we just done, I'll forget actually where I put anything. So here we go. We've found it, we got there. I want to show you here, if we then run this through our Gemini Mini, keeping in mind I'm going to show you the Gemini Mini very shortly, it is back in stock, but we can just roll this one through, we can roll it all the way through here, and then what will happen, if we take this one out, the number comes out, you can see here, and this is where the pop-up element will work. Sarah will go through all of that for you, but what I wanted to show you is how what you could do is you've got nice embossed line along the top here, so you could either follow it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away that excess, and let's cut away that excess as well, just so that we can get our scissors in. We've got a nice embossed line up at the top, so what we can do is follow that around here, and then we can even follow that all the way around here. And then here we go. We could then use our numbers on their own as standalone. So you don't have to use them with the pop-out concept. So you can do them individually if you want. You can then even start to pop them on top of your pop-up dies when it creates the card. But there's so many different ways that you can actually use them. So that is the numbers. going from 0 to 9 within these ones here. What we can do as well, I'm going to show you the other ones, but once Sarah's gone through it all, although you'll be able to always go back on YouTube and watch the show back, you do get a little step-by-step guide as well. So if you're unsure, you need that quick bit of inspiration as to how to create a pop-out card, you've got your little inspiration sheet here. Inspiration sheet is more of a step-by-step, you can see here, to create a very quick and simple card. So that is the dies that you get with them here. And then what we can do is bring in the accessories with these ones here. So build a border. So if you do want to do your borders around the cards, you can do. What we can do here is we can show you, you've got these borders all the way along here. So you've got all these dotty ones. Now these dotty ones, these are going to be really good if you've got lots of gems and pearls. Why not stamp this one out and then pop your gems and pearls in the middle, and then that's going to give you a nice textured feel to whatever card you're making. You've got your dotty, you've got your heart, you've got your star, you've even got your it's kind of like your little crisscrosses all the way along. You've got even more hearts, but it's on a banner. And then we've also got the bunting banner here. We've got additional parts when it comes to your candles, your actual parcels, as well as your heart and balloon. So this is where you can stamp them out and die cut them out because you've got the dies to match. Or what you can do, use them on their own. No problem at all to use them to frame your cards or maybe even frame your projects. And that's the thing, it doesn't necessarily have to be cards that you're doing. You could be popping them into, maybe you've got your cherished memory collection where you can keep all these memories going. And what you can do is use them in there as well. That would look quite nice. But then that's not the only thing. To finish this full collection off, but even giving you some sentiments as well. So within these sentiments, this is where you can make your own elongated sentence if you want, or you can even just pop them on the top of the card just to finish them off. So what we can do if we then go straight in here, seeing you all the variety that you've got, so we can bring this one. Going to turn it around. Now this is a sizable stamp set on this one. You have got a multitude of stamps. You've got 30 in total, which ranges from you're happy, you've got birthday, you've got them in different fonts as well. So depending on obviously who you're making it for and what style of card that you're making it for, you can then choose which ones you want to do. Then what we can do is take these ones here. So we've got the anniversary, we've got new home, we've got congratulations, best wishes, and we've even given you all of the this always makes me laugh when I try and say it. You get the erd, the st, and the nd. There you go. There we go. I'm so glad you didn't actually see my facial expressions while I was doing that one there. So you can see here. So what we've got within these selections here, we've got that nice range of dies for the numbers that pop out. You've got the stamps as well, but you've got the decoration as well. So keeping in mind, that is then going to be on launch party with Ben and Sarah. Launch day even, 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern time or 5 a.m. Pacific time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a special segment here. Now this was a question that came in from Nikki, and she was wanting to know how to do an easel card, but she wanted to know how to actually create one. She wasn't sure, you know, how to construct it, how to make it. So I thought what we'll do is we're actually going to do two. So I'm going to create a square one. We'll just use our guillotine, and then what I'll even do is we'll do a circle one using our circle nesting dies, and then that's going to show you two different takes as to how you can create your easel card. So what we can do, let's keep it simple with some white cardstock. And what I'm away to do, you can do with any cardstock that you've got at home, even things like glitter card, or it could be Centura Pearl, anything that you've got at home. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Now, what I want to do is I want to, before we start this one, just want to say as well, just like Nikki did, if you've got any other requests, anything that you want to see, you know, relatively quick demos, whereas the other day we done the foil press with your normal die. If you're struggling with something, you just need that little bit extra help with, you just want to see how to create, it could be something as simple as, you know, what I feel is an easel card. It's very straightforward to do, but you just might not have that confidence to do it. Then what to do is just go onto our social. You can see the details at the bottom of your screen there, and just pop it in there, and we will collect a nice selection, a list of what we can do. And you never know, we might just be popping up on the show and we'll be doing it live. So do get that one in. And then what we've got is Nikki. Nikki is just, she's commented saying that she's really, really excited, and thank you so much. So you are absolutely welcome, Nikki, no problem at all. So what we can do is let's bring in our guillotine. So let's do a square easel card for this one here. And let's just do a 5 by 5. Now what I do, you're going to do exactly the same, whether it's 2 by 2, 8 by 8, anything like that. You're going to use the same method as I'm doing. So we need 3. You'll always need 3 of them. So let's do 1, and then we'll do another 2, all at 5 by 5. So we can cut all the way down, and then let's take another bit here. So if we take this 5 by 5, we can turn it around. And then when it comes to constructing your easel, you can be using the grids on your guillotine, but because I have my scoreboard just to the side of me, we're going to be using that one because I've got it to hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one in. Now what you need to remember is you've got 2 that you don't need to do anything with. No scoring, no nothing. So you can pop that one to the side. And then what we can do is with this third one, you are going to score halfway. Now it doesn't need to be exact, so don't worry if it's maybe like a 1/4 of an inch out, or maybe, you know, it's an 1/8 of an inch. That doesn't really matter, but you know, as long as it's roughly about the middle. So what we can do is we can score at 2.5. So we're going to score at 2.5. Now what we need is we need a little tab. Now I tend to do my little tab at about 1/2 inch. Again, this isn't essential. If you want it to be a bit thinner, you can. If you want it to be a bit wider, you can. But kind of as I go, what I do is I score at 1/2, and then I'll score at about 1/2 inch in. So what we can do with that one is I'm going to fold this one in half. So along that half line, we'll fold in half. This little tab that I've got at this side here, we're going to fold back on itself. So from up above, you can see we're getting that little, it's like a little tick shape, or even like a stand shape that you can see here. So what we can do is bring in my tape runner, and then on this little tab here, we're going to pop our adhesive strip. So we can just run that one along. I'm going to add a bit of adhesive along there. And then what I would then usually do as well is, if I'm not using my tape runner, I would use our Collel tacky glue. And then I'm just lining this up with one of the square blanks, and we're going to just press that one on. So then this starts to construct the base of your easel here. And then what I'm going to do on this 1/2 here, just this 1/2, we're going to add some more adhesive all the way round. And then what's going to happen is you're actually going to end up with all 3 layered on top of each other. So we're going to bring this next one, we're going to pop that one over the top. It's going to be like a nice little sandwich that you've got. No filling, no, just a flat sandwich. We're going to just press that one in. And then I'm just looking at the side here. I've got many also asking for more foil press stuff. I can see that happening for sure. And I've also got Sandra Jackson is saying, Craig, you make me laugh. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad. I make you laugh. Whether you're laughing at me or with me, I do not mind. But here we go. So there is our easel card that we've created there with our squares. So again, that one is 5 by 5, but that could be any square. It doesn't even need to be square. It could be rectangle. It could be any shape at all. The main thing is your 3 pieces of cardstock are exactly the same size, and then on one of them, you're going to score at 1/2, and then at the other one, you're going to score at about 1/2 inch. And then just to show that how it works within a circle one, that's exactly what we're going to do as well, because it's exactly the same concept. So that's how you can do a square one. And then what we can do is, if I bring in, actually, I tell you what, will we do an oval one? Well, we'll go for oval. There, let's do that one. Let's go for oval. So what we can do is we can then take our cardstock, and then we can then bring another piece in. Now, we've got, Erin is saying, we've got a question from Nancy coming in. So when I score, gotcha. So, right, see, now that is something we get asked every now and again. So that was from Nancy. Nancy's saying she's noticed that when I score lightly, and I do it a couple of times, other than actually going once and really, really hard. So what you'll sometimes find is if you were to score once really, really hard, you could potentially crack the fibres of your cardstock, and then that's where your card will actually slip because of that pressure. So what I like to do is just a couple of scores, very, very lightly. Sometimes it could be 2, sometimes it might be 3 times, but just lightly enough, just so you've got that indent line, and then we'll fold it over. So my recommendation is if you do it a couple of times, but lightly, you're not going to get any cracking in the crease of your card. So there we go. Hopefully that helps. And it's the sort of questions that, you know, if you've got, pop them on our social, and then if we can answer them live, we will do. Or if it's like photos or any additional questions, we will catch them up in the next show. what we can do, bring this one in. We're going to bring that one in. Who was saying that, Erin? Nikki. Nikki's saying, well, that was so easy. What were you worried about? That's the thing, but that's the good thing as well about having the shows and the fact that you can ask these questions. There's no such thing as a silly question. Sometimes you just need that little bit of help, that little bit of guidance as to how to create an easel card. Sometimes it's very, very simple, but sometimes what puts us off from asking is actually the fear of it being a silly question, which it never is. So ask away. So here we go. So I've got one of my ovals. So what we've done is I've used the largest of our stitched edge oval. What I can then do is bring this one in here. I'm going to do 2 layers at once. When I actually do my die cutting, if I need to do a multitude of layers, I will do them one at a time, but for a bit of time and speed, and also it goes to show how well the Gemini can cut all these layers. What it can then do is do the 2 at once. And in case you're wondering, my bits are going into a little box at the side. They're not going to the bin, so I will be using them and recycling them. Same with this one, as well as this easel. What I might do, because I'm back later on today with Leanne and Cartload, so we might see if we can actually incorporate these in some of the demos later on, just to show you. So then it gives you an idea as to how we can start off with things like a card. Actually, that's a good idea. We could do bits where things like, I've made a card blank, and then later on in the day, if I'm on a show, I can actually create that. I like that. There we go. We need to get that thinking. Good idea, good idea. Okie doke. So now we've got our 3 easels here. So if I bring these 3 in, exactly the same as when it came to the square. What we're going to do is we're going to pop 2 to the side because we don't need them just yet. And then when it comes to our oval, we're going to line that one up. And this is where, especially when it comes to the ovals or circles, this is where you don't need to be overly precise if it's halfway. As it is, because this is 6 inches, I'm going to score at 6 inches. And then we're going to score at about half an inch here. So you'll be able to see already how this is just the exact same steps as I done with the square. So let's fold that one in half, and then we can fold this one back. Now on this little tab here, what we can do is we can pop our adhesive on, and then what we can do is pop this one on into here. So if we line that one up and press in there with our adhesive, so you'll see from up above how we're getting the start of our easel. And then onto this part here, we're popping our adhesive. Now, it might seem obvious to some, but not to others. If you pop adhesive onto this part here, what will happen is your easel won't open because it's stuck completely on the back. So you just need to pop your adhesive onto that bottom bit, and then we're lining that one up once again. So you've got all 3 layers lined up to create a sandwich, and we're going to get that adhesive nicely stuck. And then here we go, so we can see from up above just now how that looks. And then let's go up close. And then there we go. There is our oval easel. 100% the exact same way as your squares, but you can see there we've done it with the ovals. So you would do that with the circles. It could be the hexagon, your fancy shapes, anything like that. So there we go. So that's how you could create them. So if there is anything, relatively quick and simple, or you just want to know how to actually create something, get across onto our social. You can see the details right there, and just let us know what you want to know, and we will work it in with the shows going forward. Okay, right, let's go back and have a look and see what else everyone is saying. A couple of you is saying, I'm making you laugh. Well, I'm glad. It's Thursday. As long as I'm making you laugh, that's making me smile. Ramona is saying, I have so much CC stuff. I purchased this last year. I can make a card with a different die each day, and it'll take till Christmas. Yep, absolutely. Nancy, so that was Nancy obviously saying about the scoring 2 times. Nikki saying that was easy. And we've got Betty saying, Craig, how many layers of cardstock can the Gemini cut? How many layers of cardstock can the Gemini really cut well? Average numbers of sheets. Cardstock will do a couple of layers. I personally will only cut 1 layer at a time so that you get that nice, crisp, clean cut all the way around. But when it comes to papers, vellums, anything like that, I would then maybe go for about 4 or 5. Again, it will cut more, but then you can sometimes get a bit of that frayed edge, which you don't really want. So it's crafting, it's relaxing. So what I would do is do 1 layer at a time. If you do need to do it, speed it up a wee bit, then you could maybe get about 2 or 3 sheets in. But entirely whether it is cardstock or paper. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go over onto Cartload now. Now this is the one where we have got our back in stock. So this is the Gemini Mini. So we've got the Gemini machine, but look at that with the tote bag. Look at that, you get that as well. You get the tote bag that comes nicely settled in with the Mini. So it's also got a nice spatial area for you to pop any of your plates or dies that you want to pop into the middle. But then talking about dies, what you've also been able to get is the Mini. My guillotine there, just in case you heard that, just bang and clatter. You've also got on the show as well, you've got your Gemini Mini Element Selection. Now, these are called that because these will all go through your Gemini Mini. So they're really, really funky when it comes to creating your cards. So that's Cartload with myself and Leanne. 4 p.m. here in the UK, 11 a.m. Eastern Time or 8 a.m. Pacific Time. So within these ones here, these are fun. Whether it is cards, it's maybe invites, it's maybe little bits of bunting, you know, that you want to pop around the bedroom for, you know, little kiddies, anything like that. You can even use them as stencils. In the set here, we've got the one with the butterfly, the dragonfly, and the ladybug. With that one there, these make good stencils as well. They're really, really fun to actually use and create and play with, and I do absolutely adore these ones when it comes to making your cards. I think actually, before I actually demo them, let's show you, we'll show you a few things that you could make with them. Let's bring these ones in. These gives you a few ideas as to what you can then make with them. So it's all about building up. So within this one, you've got the cake here. So that could be wedding cake, anniversary cake, birthday cake if you want. Keeping it very, very simple when it comes to the colours. You can change them if you want. You've got this little cone here. So that could be a cupcake, but then that could be elongated and made into an ice cream cone if you wanted to. And then if we go back to this one, make your little pop-ups. Little pop-ups with all your cupcakes in, so much fun. This is the one where you've got the bunting and the banner as well. You've got your florals here, so change the colours. Maybe use them if you've got your birthday month floral stamp and die sets. Pop these on the backdrop, or we've even got these ones here. Nice little thank you card. Or it could be, with everything that's going on at the moment, it could just be I'm thinking of you card, just to send to someone to let them know that you are indeed thinking of them. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to use the Garden Friends, and what we can do is we're going to make one with the butterflies. We might actually incorporate the, we're going to use the ladybug, but you could actually incorporate the dragonflies or even the butterfly if you want. So this is how the die sets look. So although it says you get 4 pieces, you've got 4 die sets. However, if I show you the dragonfly, you've actually got 3 dies within here because you've got your inner wing, you've got your outer wing, and you've even got the body as well. So you can layer up, you can change colours and change textures if you want. But what we can do is let's take the ladybug, and I'm going to bring our Gemini Mini in. So we can bring this one in. What I'm going to do is let's just have a quick look, see what you're saying while I take another quick drink. Sandra is saying, I can see all my shape dies being used into making easel cards. Absolutely, you could do. You could be doing that one, no problem at all. Bringing in some cardstock. We've got some of our black matte cardstock, and I've taken just some of our red satin cardstock, and I don't actually need that much. So what we're going to do is if I just snip that one up here, and then I can then go in, bringing in my folder, which we had at the side. Oh, let's not say we're going to do a yesterday, because oh no, here we go, got it, panic over. We've got our folder, so you will get a folder that comes with your Gemini Mini. You always get one standard with it. So with the folder, if you are new to our die cutting machines, it is different from our Gemini Junior or our large Gemini, and it is a folder concept. Now these ones you can use back and forth like that one, so you're not going to use it on the same side each time. Pop your die onto all pieces. So what we can do is pop our die on into place, and I'm going to fold that one over, and then all that we need to do is we're just going to feed that into our Mini, and it's hand cranked, so we're going to run that one around, and then I'm just going to release that one. If we take this one here, then what will happen, although it's one die, you've actually got 2 die cut butterflies here, or ladybugs here, you can see there, and that's the backdrop of the body. So let's pop that one to the side. Then what I'm going to do is bringing in some black card. Now with this black card, what we can do is take this one, popping it onto the black card as well. Actually, do you know what? No, I want, see this, Craig, this isn't the time to change your mind. Yeah, let's change that slightly. So let's do the back of the butterfly with the black, and then what we'll do is we'll recut it again in red, and that will be the detail of the ladybug. So this is then going to run through. Very, very quick and very simple. So think about how many small dies that you have got that you're going to be able to run these ones through. And once again, it doesn't just have to be our dies at Crafter's Companion. It could be any dies that you've got at home that are wafer thin. And then we're going to take what is the body of the ladybug, and I'm going to snip my bits of cardstock. Now, what you're able to get as well, you can always go and check our website after, is you do get embossing folders that fit through the mini as well. Not only standard embossing folders, but we even do 3D embossing folders, so it's not just dies. So we can take all these wee bits here. So if I take the body of the butterfly and then the other body here, but that must be about what? About the fourth time I've called it a butterfly. It's not. I know clearly that it is a ladybug. I know that. I know many will be putting in the comments saying, Craig, it's a ladybug. I just keep saying butterfly. There we go. It has wings. It does have wings. Yeah, it does have wings. Ladybugs fly, don't they? Actually, I'm thinking of the butterfly collection from Craftvault. That's what it is. That's why I keep saying it. Thank you, Liam. That's exactly why I'm saying it. So let's bring in these bodies. All these little circles, don't bin these, because what I use these for is if you don't have gems or you don't have pearls, then these are a good one just to use as a little accent. I'm bringing in my tacky glue here. So we've got our fine applicator, and I'm going to add some adhesive onto the back. If you want to use your dotty tape runner, you can do. It's entirely up to yourself, but we can pop the body. I'm going to take a little bit of the excess off onto my hand and just pop that one on here. And we can line that one up, and you see how straight away that just comes to life, that you can see here. So what we can do is take that one here. So then what we can do is pop that one to the side. So we can then pop a little bit of glue onto the side here. We can pop that one there, and then we could take that one, pop that one in here. So there we go. So now we've got a question in here from Betty, is saying she doesn't always see us using the Gemini Go a lot, and the reason being is because we always have, it's either the junior or the large Gemini. You'll see, you know, Sarah likes the large Gemini, I like the junior. So it's just because they actually require obviously to be plugged in that. So there's a lot of coming and going. So it's quicker to actually just bring in the mini to actually be using that one than to come in with the power in that when it comes to the Gemini Go. So it's always better to do it that way. If you're after, you know, kind of like speed, so you can do it when it that way. But the Gemini Go is, if you don't want to do your hand cranked, the Gemini is Go, because it's exactly the same idea as obviously the Junior and the large Gemini, and that it's electric. It just means that you don't need to hand crank it. So it's actually, you know, if you've maybe got dexterity problems or that, you find it hard to actually wheel through the dies in the folder, then the Go is potentially better for you. But for time and speed, that's why we don't tend to use it a lot on here. We'll go straight with there, or we'll go to the mini. So that is why. So here's our two butterflies. Butterflies, I've done it again. Ladybugs. I mean, you know, I should, if it wasn't to the fact it's coming at the end of the show, I'd put a bit of paper and write ladybug at the top, but I won't. We've got our ladybugs here. I've even got another one that I've already done before. And what I'm going to do is let's bring in our cardstock. And we have got, Erin, how long have we got? 6 minutes I've got on this one here. So what I'm going to do, let's do some matting and layering. And I've even got time to do a bit of decoration. Let's see if I can take that one off, because I want that to go onto my black layer. Because I haven't pressed too hard, it means I'm able to take it off. So let's pop that one on. And I'm going to work all the way around. And this is a square card. Now this could actually have been the front of our easel card. If I'd thought of that, beforehand, could have been the front of our easel card. I'll need to keep that in mind as we go on in future. So what I can do as well, I'm going to bring in a little bit of ink here. So we're going to bring in the ink. What I'm also going to do as well, I did have, where's our low-tack tape? Can't find it, it's disappeared. I'll find it again. So here we go. I'm starting to see a recurring theme happening here that by towards the end of the show, there's always one that seems to be disappearing. Tell you what, let's not use my tape. What we can do, bringing in a bit of water reactive ink pad. I do have a finished idea, so you'll see exactly what I was kind of alluding to. So I'm bringing in some ink. I'm going to pop just a circle. I know it's obviously blue, but don't panic, or more of a teal. So I'm going to pop that one into the middle. Not being neat, not being precise. I'm just adding that colour to the base. Then what we can do, I'm going to bring this one in here with our tape runner once again. We can bring our layer in. I'm going to pop that one over the top. Have a play with your colours and see how well that they actually work. I'm going to bring in a few foam pads again. So let's bring this butterfly in here. Let's bring ladybug, 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 ladybug here. And then we can do another ladybug. Gosh almighty, gosh almighty. There we go. Let's bring a couple of these ones here. Absolutely, Liam, it's only 10 a.m. It's only 10 a.m. What I would do as well, because this is our water reactive ink, it stays a little bit wet for a little bit longer. So I'm going to add a wee bit of our Collal tacky glue. That's going to dry into the fibres. Let's take this one as well. Sticking down our butterflies down into place. Then what we can do is let's even, if I've still got these little dots, which I do, let's do 1, 2 and 3. Again, this is now our Collal tacky glue, and with your pokey tool I'm going to pick up just a couple of these little bits. You would add a sentiment like I'll show you in a minute, and we can pick that one up there, and I've got one here. And we've got Jancy, I am glad that I am cracking you up and you are loving it. As I said right earlier on, I don't care how or why you're laughing and smiling. As long as that you are, that's good for me. And Sue, she relates because she keeps losing things as well. So I'm glad it's not just me. I don't know if I'm that bad, Sue. She's lost something. She couldn't find it for like 3 days still. Don't know if I'm that bad. It usually turns up. Trust me, I'll turn up when you're not looking for it. Stop looking for it. Just don't look and you'll be fine. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm leaving this one there because I can't find my tape, but I have got one that I've done earlier on. So you can then add one of your sentiments. So it could be your sentiments from your pop-out numbers if you want, or it could be from your butterfly collection. But if I show you this one here from our butterfly collection that is in Nature Garden, you could use those sentiments. Can you see where I was actually going with this one here? So what I was doing is going to add masking tape all the way around and just ink within the centre here. So that's what I was going with, the idea anyway. So you can kind of follow on from where I was going. Now when it comes to the actual, when you take the glue, or for the dots that you can see just here, if I show you this one, don't panic because our glue dries clear, so you don't need to worry about that one. So if you're seeing any of these glues, don't worry about it. So I can set them ones to the side. What I want to do as well, if I then die cut, let's die cut the cake. I'm going to do this in white, and then it gives you an idea as to all the layers that come out. So I'm going to take my cardstock, and then we can then bring this one. Bringing in our folder again. So you've got all these little components that you've got here. This is going to create the actual cake. It's also going to create the base of the cake, but even the top of the cake, because there's a couple of these bits. For instance, this oval bit, you would die cut twice because that's going to create the top as well as the base of your card or your cake. Running it through, and we can pop these bits out. So you can see if I bring these ones there and then there. So I've just caught the end of it, not quite. So let's just snip that into place. And then you've got all these little bits as well. So we've got the decoration of the cake. So if you're making it for someone's wedding, you know, if they've maybe got a specific colour theme, you can be doing that one. Or what you can then do is you can even colour theme it if it is for a birthday cake, or it could be a celebration cake. It could be any cake that you want. It doesn't have to obviously be birthdays, whatever you like. But the good thing is because it is your dies that you've got, you can cut in whichever colour or whichever medium that you want. The good thing is it's not taking up a lot of space. They're all nicely small, snugged within the pack, but they go through the Gemini Mini. So if I take these ones out, so we're going to move that one out the way. So I'm going to take these ones. I'm not even going to cut these last wee bits. We've got candles. We've even got, these are even the top of your candles for the little bits of flame. But look at all of these bits here. We've got these, we've got the decoration for your cake. So you've got the bunting banner that goes all the way round. We've got the actual top. This is actually, would create the icing for it. We've got the decorative banner. That could be in pattern paper here. We've got the florals here. So there's so many ways that you can actually use and decorate your cake. So this is why I love this set that comes through, that comes with the Gemini Mini. But just to say, although they go through the Gemini Mini, they will of course go through your large Gemini as well. So that one with the Gemini Mini is coming up later on today on Cartload, 4 p.m. here in the UK, 11 a.m. Eastern Time or 8 a.m. Pacific Time. And that's going to be with myself and Leanne. So that's going to be fun. I cannot wait for that one. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to head across over here. Thank you so much for everyone that's been tuning in today on this Thursday morning here in the UK, of course. But then what we can do is always go back and tune in later on. So maybe you have watched this show this morning and you want to watch it again, or if you want to watch it later on, if you are kind of like, stateside and you've missed it, always able to go back. Now, today, we've got, rest of the day, we've got Craftfall, 11 a.m. here in the UK. We've got 6 a.m. and 3 a.m. Pacific Time. And then we've got Launch Day with Sarah and Ben, 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern Time or 5 a.m. Pacific Time. And then we've got Cartload. We've got that at 4 p.m. here in the UK, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we have got that at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. But then after that, what we've got, because don't forget, if you missed the start, then I'll tell you again, we don't have a Craftfall later on tonight because we have got an HSN preview. So that's going to be primarily with Sarah and Ben, but I might just be popping in as well to show you what I'm going to be bringing to HSN next week too. So if you are wanting to have a sneak peek here in the UK, that's going to be 7 p.m. But of course for you guys stateside, it's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Time or 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Oh, I think we've gone. Bye.